Unfortunately, we are convicting a former president, but who committed a crime and directly or indirectly plotted with the complicity of many others, which indicates the need of censure above what normally would have been given in the dosage of the reprimand.
And joining us now is Lula da Silva's lawyer, Valeska Martins. She joins us from Porto Alegre. Valeska, always good to talk to you. Lula has lost the appeal. Are you going to move on and accept the verdict?
Of course not. We'll keep on appealing until we're able to prove in an independent and impartial court his innocence. Yesterday, we witnessed what we'd call a political trial. They have overlooked, they have not analyzed all of the overwhelming evidence of his innocence. He was convicted of a crime that he wasn't accused of, with no evidence, based on hearsay. And it is a highly questionable trial. Therefore, we'll keep appealing nationally and internationally until we can prove his innocence.
The last time we spoke, you told me that you felt Judge Sergio Moro was compromised. When I look at the details here, all three judges unanimously upheld the corruption conviction. Are you saying that they are all compromised?
I'm saying the car wash operation is compromised. It has become a matter of the car wash against Lula. It has become a matter of confirming the PowerPoint they presented in September of 2016. It is a political persecution. He is a victim of lawfare, which is the misuse and abuse of legal means in order to achieve a political objective. Therefore, we're going to keep on appealing in order to remove Lula from this jurisdiction, which we believe is not impartial and is not independent, as clearly shown yesterday. The legal community of Brazil is in shock. All of the legal diplomas pertaining to the evidence that was presented has been torn to shreds. And we believe this has been another attack in our democracy, in our rule of law.
And your next step will presumably be the Supreme Court. Do you believe that the Supreme Court is impartial and independent?
And our next step is not the Supreme Court. We have different appeals in different levels of the judiciary in Brazil, but we will take this to the UN. Next week, we're going to file a new submission to the UN, and this trial will be the object of it.
You say that this is political persecution. Who's behind it, in your opinion?
Well, of course, we have a long history of, now in Brazil, since 2014, of misuse of legal means for political ends. It should be investigated. At this point, I do not know who's behind it. I only know that the parts of the judiciary in Brazil are politically persecuting Lula and not fairly prosecuting Lula. And again, corruption must be prosecuted fairly. Otherwise, it will not be fought. Corruption cannot be fought unless within the rule of law. And Lula, as I've always said, is not above any law, but he's not beneath the law. What we witnessed yesterday was a complete lack of compliance with all of the laws of Brazil. And it should not be taken lightly by the Brazilian people.
Does he still want to be president in October?
Absolutely. He can run. And if his party will nominate him, he will run.
If you go through all these levels, as you say, up until the Supreme Court, and I don't understand the Brazilian system as well as you do, but you will appeal and appeal and appeal, and you go to the UN, and all of them uphold the conviction, and all of them say, actually, he is guilty of corruption, will you give up?
Well, we will keep on appealing until there is within our, the legal system, national and international. But we do believe strongly in the evidence that we have produced in the files. We do believe in his innocence. Therefore, I don't believe that an independent and impartial court of law will convict him. And we'll keep on fighting and appealing until he's acquitted, because what he's always made it very clear, he wants to clear his name. He wants to clear his biography. That is what it matters the most to him. He wants to prove his innocence all the way to the end.
Valeska Martins, I thank you very much for joining us on the Newsmakers.